a male-dominant society. دخلت فيها. We regularly hear of young women being oppressed by their fathers, brothers, even uncles' demands such as choice of study, marriage, and lifestyle. It is within our society's old-fashioned ideologies where women like me get a little bit eerie talking about our living arrangements. I live in a 3-generation all-female household and have never lived under a male authority. Now, some might say that I live in an incomplete household, such as the many who criticize the nature of my living. And with that comes the phrase I hear the most, طب وين البابا؟ طب جدو؟ مش عايشة معهم؟ يا حرام. But why is this an issue? Can't a mother teach her children about taxes, finances, and even sports? Can't a grandmother teach a child about independency, responsibility, even confidence? Why is the male authority responsible for shaping us, the next generation? Women have been voicing their concerns for a very long time now. The problem is nobody is willing to listen. Through the years, it has been evident that the global society has altered what the true meaning of being a woman is. And this is a problem we have to face, solve, and eradicate. In the US alone, 84% of single women are responsible for raising an entire household, which means they're responsible for raising 22 million children. Living in a female household stops being incomplete when it starts being the new social norm, which just proves the fact that what a child truly needs is stability and not perfection. It's not who you live with that should matter. It's under what circumstances that's the topic to criticize. And what a child truly needs, again, is stability, like I said. So children have the tendency to morph into their surroundings. They're liable to change. A child needs a routine to abide to. A child needs to know who will wake them up for school, who will take them home from school, and who will they say goodnight to before they go to sleep. Now, living with my mother and grandmother may not be complete, but it's certainly enough. My mother has gone through great lengths to ensure that I live in a stable environment. One of the many ways to do so is by enrolling me in a co-ed school. Her intention to do so is that whenever I see a boy, I wouldn't go on, had walad, shu had. Because when you're 3 years old and you're living in a female household, you kind of forget what a male actually looks like. And of course, on my very first day in kindergarten, I couldn't help but strangely look at these really small human beings with really short hair that had weird names like Muhammad and Umar. And although I suffered with my communication with boys, mind you, still do, I have been able to overcome this issue as a result of my mom's decision. My mother and grandmother made me mature at a very young age. They made me independent, and they made me take in tough responsibilities so I can learn and grow. Now, not many women are as lucky as me. In countries such as Saudi Arabia, a woman cannot travel, get assigned treatment after a health crisis, go to school without her father's approval, if not her father, any other male legal guardian, and this also applies after she reaches legal age. The question we should be asking ourselves is, who gave men this much authority? The question I ask myself is, how can some women still tolerate such actions? We cannot argue the fact that women have gone to great lengths to ensure equality with men. It took long protests, strong beliefs, and hope to get where we are today. And although we can understand this on a global scale, it's important to highlight how Jordanian women have attained these advancements. In 1954, the Arab Women's Union was founded by Emily Psharat, Jordan's very first female lawyer. Now, this gave space for other women to express themselves in areas where they found themselves silenced. An example is the Mason Nasser, who attained a government scholarship for a degree in education. Another example is Hayfa Bashir. She ran a successful campaign in the 1970s for women to get into the nursing sectors. She also established Jordan's very first care center for the elderly, the Golden Age Home. Now, it's here where I found myself reminiscing and actually relating to these women. Just like them, I'm passionate about many things, one of which is politics. Now, it's also important to highlight the fact that during that period, women were not allowed into the political arena. Maybe because a woman actually voicing her concerns about political issues seemed so far-fetched and so crazy that it wasn't allowed. And it's also here where I found myself reminiscing incidents where men were enforcing their political views on myself. They would rant on and how كيف البلد ما عندهم مصاري لازم نعمل هيك وهيك طب لا يا شيخ. And whenever I try to engage with a conversation with them and go عمو بس تعرف إنه عمو عم نحكي. And just like that, that perfectly constructed sentence in my mind that expressed my opinion perfectly shattered, belittled, just like that. And I think that's what drove me to start writing articles. You know, just like the woman who preceded, I found a tool where I can express my ideas and my message can be sent and my voice can be heard. Because these ideas were so cramped up in my mind and all I can do with them was write, and write. And I found out that writing in my school's newspaper was an effective tool to show the world how I truly feel. And you know what? I actually felt powerful when I wrote these articles about my opinions. And I felt genuinely happy when people complimented my opinions. But despite all of these great advancements, we still see women dropping out of college to get married, thinking it's the only way to make a true future for herself. And this is because we still see a lack of support from society. And we see this through divorce laws, wage discrimination, and honor killings. And although women of the 1950s gave space for other women to feel liberated and outspoken, society has damaged the mindsets of many. The definition of feminism, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is the advocacy of women's rights on the ground of the equality of the sexes. Sadly, the meaning of feminism has been altered in negative ways. I believe that a man and a woman should not be equal. Now you might be thinking of the profound hypocrisy I'm about to present to you, but just hear me out. Due to my special living conditions, I have been able to highlight where our society is going wrong. Women have taken feminism to an extent where they believe they're responsible for all necessities, which includes work, education, cleaning her house, feeding her children, feeding her husband, waking up early to pack lunch for her children, going to bed late after doing the dishes, having a typical Friday family azima, and if she doesn't cook, God forbid her from her mother-in-law's rather colorful comments. Our society has made us believe that this is feminism. An Arab woman becomes the provider, the feeder, the educator, and the support system of every single household. Now, in what world is that equal? Maybe under society's terms, I live in an incomplete household, but let me tell you, it's certainly beautiful. My experience living in a female household has taught me many things. It taught me how the female mind truly works, and what's wrong with the situation regarding Jordan through my experience. You know, after all of these years, I actually found out that living in a female household actually empowers you. Because not many women are empowered in Jordan. I think we can all agree on that. Living with two very strong, very brave women and with an extremely supportive father taught me how to be the best woman I can be. They taught me all my manners, my approach to actions, but most importantly, my mindset. So the next time you see a female relative of yours in a typical Friday family عزيمة, ما تحكوا لها عقبال نشوفك عروس. احكوا لها عقبال نشوفك بالطريقة اللي انت بدك تكوني فيها. So let's never forget that a woman is a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a grandfather, a grandmother, a minister, a lawyer, a doctor, a politician, anything she wants to be. So let her speak, let her express, but most importantly, let her be the best her she can be. Thank you.